In a controlled psychological study, researchers asked participants a simple question: how many unique ways can you use a standard building brick? The subjects didn't know they were being primed. Before the brainstorming began, flashes of corporate logos appeared on their screens for fractions of a second, too fast for conscious recognition. One group was exposed to the IBM logo. When handed the brick, they produced highly functional, standard answers: build a wall, pave a walkway, or prop open a door. The second group saw the Apple logo. Their responses showed a statistically significant divergence, generating a much higher volume of unusual, highly creative ideas for the exact same object. Humans possess a hardwired instinct to assign human traits to inanimate objects. We map personalities onto corporate entities, just as we do with people. By merely encountering a brand's visual signature, consumers unconsciously alter their own behavior to match the perceived traits of that brand. The logo acts as an active behavioral trigger. Brand personality operates as a quantifiable cognitive heuristic. It allows a company to bypass consumer skepticism, replacing complex arguments with an intuitive character profile. Most industries default to competing on functional attributes, battling over processing speed, material durability, or price points. Relying on specifications creates a structural vulnerability. Any purely technical advantage can be reverse engineered and replicated by a competitor within a single product cycle. When the entire market competes on mathematical superiority, the offerings converge, the products become indistinguishable, and the category inevitably slips into commoditization. A distinct personality anchors the brand in human memory. Relying on complex emotional associations rather than replicatable data, it creates a formidable competitive moat. Brand strategist David Aaker posits that to construct this moat, an organization must deploy its brand personality across 5 distinct operational roles. The first operational role is representing and communicating functional benefits. Proving an abstract claim like long-lasting battery life using raw technical data, such as milliamp-hour ratings or discharge curves, rarely persuades a general audience. Energizer bypasses the problem of data fatigue entirely. The Energizer Bunny mechanics as an indefatigable cognitive shortcut. The character's relentless endurance proves the battery's longevity without citing a single statistic. Geico applies the exact same mechanism. Purchasing insurance is a bureaucratic, stressful process. An approachable, lightly humorous avatar softens the friction of the transaction. The second role addresses market stagnation by injecting vital brand energy into mature or static product categories. In mature markets, products are often taken for granted. This consumer apathy causes a severe drop in the brand's baseline visibility. Red Bull sells a canned beverage, but it generates extreme visibility through high kinetic events like cliff diving and aeronautics. This creates continuous energy entirely independent of the physical drink itself. Deploying specific character profiles directly solves 2 major corporate threats: consumer apathy in a static market and the data fatigue caused by listing technical specifications. The third operational role requires defining the exact social relationship between the user and the brand. Some brands adopt the mother archetype. A company like Campbell's Soup projects a down-to-earth, genuine reliability that signals safety and comfort to the buyer. Others position themselves as a companion. This relationship is built to provide stimulating, unpredictable engagement, much like a weekend friend. Virgin Airlines historically leveraged this posture. The brand's identity is deeply tied to Richard Branson's informal, adventurous persona, creating a sense of shared experience with the traveler. Conversely, the advisor archetype projects supreme competence and authoritative guidance, characteristic of early Microsoft's intense, highly technical focus. Selecting the correct relational archetype dictates the emotional expectation a customer forms before they ever initiate a purchase. The fourth role turns inward, serving as an internal tactical compass to guide brand-building programs across the organization. Issuing a generic directive to convey high quality rarely works. The instruction is too vague, resulting in disjointed execution between different departments. A sharper alternative is instructing the marketing team to act as a demanding professional. This specific personality prompt provides immediate clarity. It forces instant alignment across packaging design, copywriting style, and digital interface architecture. The fifth and final role involves uncovering deep relational truths during customer research. In one study, researchers interviewed 2 distinct groups of credit card users. Both sets of customers acknowledged identical functional product specifications, interest rates, and fees. The divergence emerged only when they were asked to describe the brand as a person. The first group viewed the card as a supportive guide aiding their success. The second group viewed the exact same brand as an aloof, condescending snob. Querying consumers strictly on product specs yields shallow data. Asking them to evaluate perceived personality exposes the true psychological drivers of brand defection. To map this corporate psychology, researchers rely on an industry-standard framework, Stanford professor Jennifer Aaker's Big Five personality matrix. The functional domains of sincerity and excitement categorize traits like warmth and daring. These domains effectively map family-oriented companies and highly trendy, youthful brands. Competence and sophistication cover reliability and glamour, making them the default architectural profiles for B2B sector leaders and luxury goods manufacturers. The final domain is ruggedness. Harley-Davidson heavily monopolizes this psychological space, projecting an outdoorsy, tough independence that defines the entire user experience. Anchoring a brand decisively inside one of these specific profiles is the absolute prerequisite for capturing lasting psychological market share. There is a critical strategic caveat. An optimized brand personality profile becomes a liability if it remains static over a company's lifecycle. When a company enters a market as a disruptor, the optimal psychological profile requires aggression. Projecting feisty, irreverent traits is an effective mechanism for capturing initial market attention and challenging incumbents. This chart illustrates the maturity shift, a mandatory re-engineering of the brand's personality once it achieves market leadership. The trajectory moves directly from the feisty, irreverent quadrant toward the highly competent and authoritative quadrant. Salesforce is a primary case study. Early on, they relied on outrageous public stunts to position themselves against giant, established software firms. As Salesforce secured its position as the market leader in cloud computing, it deliberately dialed down the extreme stunts. It discarded the underdog persona to adopt the traits of a highly competent, authoritative advisor. Constructing a distinct personality is merely the starting point. Ultimate survival requires the ruthless evolution of that character to match shifting market realities.